Hey guys, hope you are having an amazing weekend so far together with your teammates. It is such a privilege to be here with you guys today. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Rosanna. I'm a Sapphire Ambassador, and you guys, I've been with Plexus for almost 7 years. How amazing is that? And so I hope that this weekend fills you guys up. There is nothing like having a weekend together with like-minded men and women looking to grow the same thing, where you can share and inspire and brainstorm together, right? So that's what these weekends are all about, and it is absolutely amazing that you guys get to do that this weekend. So I wanted to just take a couple minutes to talk to you guys about creating a strong team. So before we get going, if you have a pen and paper, I want you to take some time and write out what your definition of community is and what your definition of culture is. Okay? Because we're going to go back to your definitions of it later. And you guys, there's no right or wrong answer. Everybody's going to have a little bit of a definition that is different from someone else, but it's probably all going to have common factors to it as well. So after this, after you've watched it, it'd be awesome if you guys could get together, share your definitions, and then come up with some ideas after we have talked to create that community that you're looking for, to create that culture in your team that you're looking for. Because you guys, community and culture goes a really, really long way in building up a strong team, okay? So, building, I have my notes here so I don't forget what I want to say to you guys. So, building a strong team, guess who it starts with? You guys can shout out the answers amongst each other. It starts with you. Whether you have one person signed up, whether you are a gold, whether you are a ruby, you are now a leader and you have a team, and you are going to set the tone of what that community and culture within your team looks like. Now, chances are good that you are going to have a very similar culture and community with your upline because you're probably working close together. And then you can make little tweaks to how you want to do things a little bit different if that is something that you want. But your team is going to look to you. Your team will duplicate what you do and the precedent and the tone that you're setting, okay? So I want you to think about that. So who you are is who you're going to attract. So when you are sharing on social media, that's an example that really spoke to me because this is an area that I had to really grow in. When I started social media, you guys, you know how those memories pop back up, right? So I look at 6 years ago when I started Plexus and the way that I was posting, that was not authentically me, not even a little bit. For those of you that know color personalities, I was posting all sorts of green things. I was posting ingredients and all this stuff about product. And you guys, that is not my niche. I am not green even a little bit. When my sponsor, who is Dr. Jessica, tells me to take something, I take it. I don't ask questions, okay? So when I was posting about all the ingredients and different topics, my audience didn't respond. But you know why? Because they know that that's not who I am. They know that. And so when you post something that is not authentically you, your audience can smell that from a mile away that you're trying to be someone else, and instantly a flag will go up in their mind and they're just going to scroll on past. So be authentically you on Facebook, because when you're you and you're confident in who you are, you're going to attract those confident people. And we know that confidence is super huge when we're going to go start sharing on social media, right? And the thing is, confidence can be taught, it can be learned. And so that is the beauty of it, okay? The leader you are is the leader you're going to create. So when you think about who you want on your team, when you think about the leaders in your life that have positively impacted you the most, the leaders that you look up to the most, think about the things that they do. Why are you so attracted to them, right? Because you can start implementing those things in yourself, which means you're then going to attract those leaders as well. And that is huge. You're going to have a group of like-minded leaders. You can grow up. I was going to say grow up together. You can literally grow up together, right? But you can grow your businesses together. And that is the beauty of this. You guys, unity is essential in this business. Lone islands do not work. You want the unity. So get connected to sidelines and uplines. Do things with your team. because unity, the community, you guys, that's why I stayed. I did not get amazing results when I started. I literally stayed because I didn't want to disappoint my sponsor, and she had already hooked me up with all these amazing women on her team in my area, and I didn't want to let them down, you guys. And that is how strong community is when you create it the right way, right? So Rebecca Folks, when I went into leadership training, Jewel training a couple years ago, she said this: remember that in becoming a leader, you have stumbled into a role model position as well. People are watching you. It's a vital part of your business to set a standard that you want your team to follow, both personally and professionally. So scroll through your own social media feed. What do you see? Do you see whining? Are you complaining about something? Are you standing up for what you believe and what you're confident in and what you're sharing about? And are you sharing successes? Are you sharing maybe problems that you arise, but with a solution so that people know that you are a solution seeker? You do not just sit and sulk in your problem, right? Because that's what's going to draw people to you as well. You are a problem solver. That is what you are, right? So let's get back to being a role model. Your team is looking to you for leadership. They are. No matter what personality you are. So I am a yellow personality. My secondary is red. And so I have red leaders on my team that I'm like, oh, well, they just don't look to me for leadership. So like, whatever, like that sucks, but I'm gonna sit here and have a pity party. No, you guys. Every color personality needs the other personalities to learn from and to grow from. And so no matter what color you are, no matter what color personalities you have below you, you are a role model in some way, shape, or form. So embrace that and be confident in it. And this is where being authentically you is going to shine, because I can teach my red personalities the joy of connection and relationships, right? And they can teach me other things because we work together. So you get to model some good behavior. So what are some good behaviors that you want to model for your team to really set the tone, to create the culture, but not only that, to grow leaders on your team as well, because you want to do this with a group of people, right? Raise your hand if you are still looking for someone that is going to build this business with you, right? I always told a bunch of my team that it seems like until gold, you kind of do it on your own. And then once you've reached gold, then slowly these little builders rise up. And so it can feel a little lonely until you reach that point. And if you found a business builder before gold, amazing. There is a fly. That is absolutely incredible, and embrace that and grow and learn together, okay? So focusing on daily IPAs. You guys, IPAs is a must, right? Are you showing your team that doing IPA is essential for a leader to do as well? Are you? What are you doing? What does that look like, right? You're continuing to enforce the basics by doing it yourselves and making sure that your team knows that you do it. So that is really, really important. Are you posting on social media? When posting as a leader, you need to stay positive always. Always stay positive. People are going to be looking to that. Give shout outs and encouragement, you guys. Shout outs and encouragement are incredible, right? People work harder for the shout outs and encouragement than they do for rewards of some kind. On your team page, are you creating a culture and a positive climate? Think about that. What does your team page look like? If you took a scroll through your team page right now, and if you share a team page with sponsors, I share one with my sponsor, it is absolutely fantastic. You can scroll through it together and be like, okay, so as a team, this is what we want our community and culture to look like. Does our team page right now reflect that, right? And then investing in your team. So this is a bit longer that I wrote out, but you need to be available and approachable. Okay, personal life is personal life, and it is okay for your team to know that maybe during this time is when I'm schooling my kids, or I'm on a date with my hubby tonight, right? Personal life, you're allowed to have a personal life, you guys, okay? So IPA chats, right? Accountability groups. Are you doing events? I know that sometimes if you haven't hosted an event on your own, you might be terrified. I was terrified, and that's okay. You guys, you learn as you grow, and you can always invite your sponsor or a sideline sister along to do it with you, because it's so much easier when you can do it together and you can kind of talk and converse with each other and make the mood a little bit more lighthearted, right? If you already have a bigger team, guys, start doing little team retreats with your team. It doesn't need to be fancy or like crazy, like took a lot of planning. You guys, what if you just go out for dinner? What if you go out for breakfast, meet up for coffee, right? Those things all qualify as things that you're doing with your team to just build the morale and build the community and culture. This fly is driving me bananas. Incentives. Are you doing book studies together? Because learning and growing, personal growth, you guys, is a massive part of this business. Massive. And so I would encourage you, my team, we have one more week left. We're doing this Daring Greatly book, and it is intense, and it talks about being vulnerable quite a bit. Because being vulnerable is the hardest thing for you to do to show your audience, but it's the thing that your audience wants to see in you, to trust you and to relate to you, okay? So do book studies. There are some amazing books out there. And then finding out what people's whys are and using that to motivate them and constantly reminding of them, because we know that when we lose sight of our why, then during, like, we have hills and valleys in this business. So when we're in a valley, and trying to remember why we're even doing this, when we're here is when people tend to quit or give up or say, oh, you know what, maybe this isn't for me, right? And it's in those moments when you as a leader really need to know what their why is, so that you can remind them of that why and use that why to inspire action again, right? And so if their why isn't strong enough to inspire action, you guys, it's time to dive deeper into that why. And there's some really great books on that, and Sonia Dudley has some incredible videos on that. And so it's really, really important to develop a really strong why. So what else do I have? Yes, and helping ambassadors start strong, bringing them into the community. Are you doing a welcome post every time you enroll someone? Are you plugging them into the resources? And are you showing them the bigger picture? I know that sometimes it can be really nerve-wracking and maybe scary to even present what the business could look like to someone, but are you subtly just showing them ways, right? So adding them to your team page, adding them to Dare to Dream, which is just full of business testimonies, showing them diamond documentaries during just your regular follow-up that you do with them, whatever system you have in place with that. Those are really great ways to help someone dream. And when you help someone start to dream, then their why develops a little bit more, and then usually they're inspired into action. Okay? So that kind of sums it up, but I want you guys to chat about your definitions of community and culture. And if you have time, I would love it if you guys chatted about, okay, so what are some things that we're doing really well at right now in creating this community and culture? Because that is going to lay a really strong foundation for your team. And then take a minute to talk about, okay, so what are areas that we could maybe improve in a little bit? Are we missing something? Do we have something in place to help ambassadors get started really strong? Are we constantly showing them our community? Are we doing little Zooms? Are we doing events enough? Are we, there's just a whole slew of things that you can think about, but we can constantly improve on community and culture. And if you have people that are joining your team like me, I stayed for the community. I truly did, you guys. And it was only a couple months after that I started to see the side of the business. And now here I am, almost 7 years later, Sapphire Ambassador. And so it started with community for me. And I think sometimes we underestimate the value of community when starting someone out, even if that person, again, like me, had absolutely no interest in doing Plexus for the business whatsoever, you guys. I didn't have any interest. And so here we are. And so I would encourage you to really take a look at community and culture and talk to your team about it and see what you can do to improve on it. And it doesn't have to be huge, drastic changes right away as the first month. You guys start slow so that you can be consistent in what you are doing so that your team knows what to expect from you guys. Okay? So anyways, I thank you. Thank you for having me. I hope that I could bring something of value to you guys, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your retreat. Okay? See you.